Piss? What's piss mean? Don't say piss. Who cares about UFC? Come on. My hair is all fucked up because it's getting so long. I had to slick it back with some piss. um, I don't know. Is Mahomes playing? Because that changes everything. I mean, I really was looking forward to seeing the Chiefs against Tampa Bay, but I don't know if Chad Henne can pull it off with Mahomes is playing. Um, well, good. I like the Chiefs and I like Tampa Bay. Antonio Brown is out for the Bucks. Shit, how many catches did he have last week? I don't think he did shit last week. Henne is a known point shaver. What the fuck are you talking about? He fucking ran for a game-winning fucking first down, put his head down, and fucking cleared the way. Looking like a 1700s lawyer. Nice. I know, but I can't root for Green Bay because I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what's going on. My seems to only work every other live stream. Gronkowski is used to the snow. Thoughts Dale and his constant hunting. You know, I don't know why Dale hunts so late in the year. You know, the does are all pregnant by now, and Dale's still out there chasing them around. It's not exactly very sporting. But Dale really thinks he's awesome. That's one nice thing about Dale is Dale is consistent. If you ask Dale about Dale, Dale's gonna say Dale is awesome. So hey, I like drinking. I like drinking in a hotel room. Drinking in a hotel room might be the best place in the world to drink. Pullovers on chest day or back. Uh, I don't know, dude. I could argue that both sides of that argument. I think the great Dorian Yates used to do them on back day. He used to pre-fatigue his lats with pullovers, and Arnold used to superset chest and back, so that was a great exercise for Arnold. Thoughts on Boston Lloyd kidney failure? I don't like it. I don't know what you want me to say. It sucks. Um, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, notoriously steroids are rough on the liver. So I'm trying to figure out what did in his kidneys. I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not. It could be bro science. I've heard that trenbolone is brutal on your kidneys because it and not on your liver like other steroids. Um, but I've also saw someone comment earlier or yesterday that methylated alpha alkylated 17 orals are brutal on your kidneys. Peptides is what he said did it. I believe that. Guys, these peptides have not been proven. Look how many guys have actually died from doing steroids. Not many. And guys have been abusing steroids since the mid 60s. But people have only been doing peptides for a few years. Kind of scary. What's the other thing that guys are doing nowadays? Not peptides. The that other new thing. Forget what it's called. You know me, I don't know anything about the new stuff. SARMs. Yeah. I I don't know anything about SARMs, but some of those SARMs can't be good for you. Well, Dave knows science. SARMs are a scam. Yeah, majority of the muscle walking around right now, testosterone cypionate, more than any other compound known to man. The most muscle right now walking around was built with testosterone cypionate. So, second would probably be D-ball or DECA. So, why is Leo trying so hard to insert himself into the Misfits? He's just going for views, bro. He's using the Misfits for views. That's all he's doing. Test enthanate is better, according to Splanish Phi. I disagree. I like SIP. But I have some test nth, so I don't want to sound like a hypocrite and say test nth sucks. I mean, it's good too. It's only one molecule longer of an ester, I believe, than testosterone cypionate. Test E, less of a shot. I don't know what that means. Because the enthanate ester is longer, if you got some test 250 and some test E 250, the cypionate is actually going to have more testosterone because the ester is part of the weight. That's why, like test pro 100, I mean, the pro ester it isn't as long, so that's why it weighs less. Plus, they can't put as much in suspension. Anyway, enough of that bullshit. No, I'm not super chat. I'm not shotgunning a beer. Stronger per ml, at least the pharma gear I get. I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. You can get some test cypionate 250 or you can get some test enthanate 300, but in actuality, they've got about the same amount of testosterone. I mean, you're splitting hairs. If you're a guy that does not like to pin, Enthanate's better. Because Cypionate, you're really pushing it, only doing one shot a week. Cypionate really needs to be done a minimum of twice a week. Entonate you can get away with once a week. Some guys like that. I mean, but your average gear monkey is doing so much gear, he's got to pin twice a week anyway. I believe, when you're talking about the amount of gear that a guy like Boston Lloyd runs, they're pinning minimum Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. Gear's good for you. Look at Lenny. Who's this MJ Lives guy trying to help you, dude? Brennan Eason, DECA, 5 weeks on, 5 weeks off. Yeah, that's a good cycle because I've noticed if you only do DECA for 5 weeks, you don't even get any ED. You go off it before the ED. ED usually starts to creep in at about week 6, at least for me. Yeah, I like that plan. DECA 5 weeks on, 5 weeks off. I'd like to shave my head. I look like Hannibal Lecter. That's funny. Buddy of mine gave me a bunch of Sten. Ever done it? I've heard of Sten. That's old school. I forget what Sten is. Is that like test and trend in a blend? I forget. What about straight up TRT? I'm a big fan of TRT. In fact, I know you guys don't believe me, but I'm doing TRT levels of test right now. I'm doing some Primobolan E, and I am only doing 250 a week of test Cypionate with the Primobolan, and I'm even splitting that in half. I'm doing 2 shots a week because I'm doing quite a bit of Primo. My Primo is Primo 200, and I've only got I got these stupid syringes that only hold 2.5 cc. They don't hold 3. So I'm doing 2 cc's of Primo and 0.5 cc of test twice a week. So that winds up at the end of the week being 250 test, 800 Primo. Yeah, I'm barely even lifting, so I don't need a lot of test right now. Doing the Primo, hopefully, it's been a while since I did Primo. I was hoping I would get some good collagen response from it. Basically, until my shoulder is healthy, I'm just going to be rotating between Primobolan, EQ, and DECA. Have you tried benching since the pull, Jay? Yeah, I did just the bar last weekend for 4 sets of 25. Felt great. But my rotator cuff is sore as fuck. I don't know if I can hold the camera and point, but way back here on the outside in the back is where my shoulder hurts now. I think there's a rotator cuff muscle in the back on the outside. That's where the majority of my pain is now. That's hardly TRT, Jay. I didn't say I was doing TRT. I'm doing TRT levels of test. I'm doing a CC of test cypionate a week, half CC twice a week. I just happen to be throwing in a bunch of primobolan with it. So that's probably a sprained rotator cuff out there, way out there on the outside in the back. Could also be bursitis. Yeah, that's true. I never thought of that. Definitely rotator cuff. Yeah, but it could be bursitis as well. Sounds like supraspinatus. Not sure what that is exactly, but didn't the great Dorian Yates just rupture his, falling off his bicycle? I don't think it's ruptured because I can do just about everything. It just hurts. I like EQ. Tren is too much. Yeah, Tren is no good for collagen either. You'll eventually get injured on Tren. Tren is like like taking a diuretic. Really dries out the muscle and the connective tissue. Most common muscle to get problem with in the shoulder area is what, the supraspinatus. Oh. Hey Jay, what Franco Colombo use? I really don't know. I know most of the guys back in those days loved doing Deca and D-ball. Arnold was the big proponent of primobolan. So I imagine Franco probably did quite a bit of Deca and D-ball and quite a bit of Primo and D-ball. Those guys didn't have a lot of options back then. Franco loved Anavar, Mensner once said. Where the hell did he get it? And pharmaceutical Anavar back in those days, I believe, was 2.5 milligram. You'd have to eat a handful of them. Jay, do you have gyno? A little bit, but it hasn't bothered me in ages. But there's definitely some lumps in there. Nothing worth getting surgery, though. Masteron really makes those lumps get smaller. He said it was light and could almost stay on Anavar year round. I wouldn't stay on orals year round. That's not a good idea. I don't even like being on orals longer than 3 weeks at the very beginning of a cycle. I know that standard protocol is doing orals the first 6 weeks of your cycle. I just start feeling too sick. After about 3 weeks of orals, I'm done. Everybody has my phone number, you jerk off. Proviron is okay year round, right? I don't know about that. I think Proviron is a DHT derivative. I would be careful with that. I wouldn't do anything year round except test and EQ, honestly. If you can afford it, I would stay on EQ year round. Even if you're on a better cycle, who's it going to hurt to just do a cc of EQ a week just to keep it in your bloodstream? Now, I will admit, I went off the EQ. I was on EQ at Christmas time, and I was so excited to try this Primobolan. I did go off the EQ because I want to really feel what this Primobolan is all about. Primobolan has such a reputation. You want to know what you're doing when you do Primobolan. Oh. Oh. Is spending tattoos? I don't know. If the tattoos are a birthday present, you can't really turn them down, from what I've heard. Just digging for a cold one. So yeah, that's the only reason I'm not on EQ. I actually have some EQ, but I went off of it just because I want my receptors clear and wide fucking open so that I can get the most out of this Primo. Just, in a perfect world, I think test, Primo, and equipoise would be a great collagen cycle. Just like test, EQ, and Deca. Now I'm doing Deca next when I come off the Primo. I'm probably going to run the Primo to Valentine's Day, which falls on a Sunday this year. And then when I go back on the road after, it's got to be Gorilla Juice. No one else would waste their time. When I go back on the road after Valentine's Day, that's when I'm gonna switch to the Deca. If you could be 20 years old again, what's the one thing you would change, training or supplement wise? Well, I was involved in track and field in college, which was drug tested because it was part of the NCAA. So when I was in my prime growing stages, I wasn't doing Deca or EQ or any of the real good stuff. I was basically in the off season doing like Tespinate and Anadrol 50s, and then in season I was doing like water-based suspension and Winstrol orals. Water-based suspension and Winstrol orals, you can pass a drug test really fast on that stack. Water-based test and Winstrol orals. So my drug protocol at 20 was fucked. because I was competing in a drug tested sport. If I could go back and do it all over again, I probably would just say fuck it, and it would have ran a bunch of DECA, and who cares if I get caught? Thoughts on Leo lying about beating Ray in an arm wrestling competition? Who cares about? I don't even know what you're talking about. Jay, what is your favorite thing about old school Masteron? Why is Masteron considered old school? Oh. There's things I don't like about Masteron. I'll tell you, the number one thing I like about Masteron is it it cures your bitch tits almost immediately. Um, but it also, after a few weeks, your joints start to get sore, and it's really not a very good muscle builder because it's somewhat of a diuretic. That's why guys love it pre-contest. So I would be careful with Masteron. Masteron mixes well with something like DECA that causes water retention and bitch tits. Masteron shows up on the job site like a bully and says, "No, you don't." But if you're doing a clean cycle, you really don't need Masteron. Masteron is good to add to a dirty cycle. Thoughts on Leo? What? Leo saying you better not say another word about his wife. I posted Leo. Leo lied that I was messaging his wife or whoever that girl is, and I accidentally that really funny meme that shows Leo in some very compromising positions. I must have shared that meme that day with dozens of people. So I was basically me, and somehow she got included in the spam, and that's why the other night I had to post it to clear my name. I haven't been messaging her. I mean, give me a break. So yeah, I posted the screenshot of what I accidentally did. I didn't know that was his wife, and I didn't do it on purpose. It just, when you're spamming out a fucking screenshot of someone sucking a dick, you get a little carried away sometimes. So anyway, it's water under the bridge. But anyway, so I posted the fucking screenshot, and then my fucking account gets fucking suspended. So whatever. I was trying to clear my name. If any of you guys that saw that post, it's clear I wasn't messaging her. She was clearly just got involved in the spam of me sending out that meme to the trolls, which was my main goal of sending out that meme, was to do it direct message, because the fans have been asking me to order 66 Leo, and I'm not going to do that because the Misfits keep going on his fucking podcast. And, I knew Andrew was going to go on Leo's podcast, before, any of you guys did. And so I got all these people saying, Jay, fucking, order 66, Leo. And I'm like, I can't do that. Andrew's going on his fucking podcast. Why would I do that to Andrew? Because you know what I'm saying? You can't podcast, you can't 66 someone because if your friend is going on their podcast, because that fucks them over. So I sent that meme around via direct message, trying to be sneaky. And oh well, I sent it to Leo's wife on accident. Oh well, shit happens, bro. Get over it. Man, my rotator cuff is killing me. Oh. It's like when the injury first happened, my bicep and my chest hurt so fucking bad, where all the blood was, that I didn't even notice that my rotator cuff was injured, or whatever you guys are saying, the suprastratus inferiorius. Um, but now, yeah, now pretty much the only place it hurts is back here. Like pretty, I don't know if you can see my finger, pretty much right there. Just fucking kills. So oops. That's the supraspinatosis. How do I fix a supraspinatosis? Oh. Planet Swole wants to know information about my dad. I guess it won't hurt at this point because I already said it a long time ago. My dad's, I don't know his date of death. I think it was in June. It was definitely in the summer. It was June, July, or August. And yes, he definitely died in Oakland County, and it was 1979. And his full name was Timothy Michael Masterson. Strengthen it, do band work. Oh shit, I reversed cam. Leo, not real concerned about Leo. You know, I talked to Andrew after Andrew went on Leo's podcast, and he's like, I talked more than I've talked, all year on the podcast. He said Kalura and Lenny just sit there. Like, well, Lenny obviously must have been sober. And Kalura really doesn't have much of a personality, to be honest. You know, I got something to say about that. Andrew, would Lenny and Kalura go on there for $5? Yes. But Andrew wouldn't, because if Andrew wanted to be a whore and make $15, he would just put out a Misfits video because his YouTube is monetized. And Andrew could sit in his bedroom in his fucking boxer shorts and in front of his computer and and make $15. So I agree. Kalura's getting paid, Lenny's getting paid, but they're just gorillas in the fucking zoo. People are gonna get sick of looking at their faces. So, but Andrew, I really don't know the truth. Andrew Andrew is a funny kind of guy. Like, you could offer Andrew some money. Like, if Leo offered Andrew money to come on the podcast, I mean, I don't really know what people charge to come on a podcast, but I'll tell you what, Andrew would be a hard one to land because Andrew is so set in a schedule. Like, if it was dinner time, Andrew would tell Leo, "No, I can't do it. I'm having chicken and rice at 6:30, and that's not negotiable." So I have no idea. I Lenny doesn't have AIDS. If you guys have any proof Lenny has AIDS, let me see it. Prince Andrew is watching. He just told me to watch my mouth. He said, "Jay, if you say one more fucking thing about my cat, I'm never filming you again." Leo is going to punch you in the chest, causing a myocardial infarction. To get that fucking crazy yelling things that those jihadists do when they fire AK-47s up in the air. Like, where is Big Rob? Is Big Rob on here? I love Big Rob. Leo is going to crush you like Gentile swine. Oh. I love Big Rob's wife. I, and I've only seen fuzzy pictures, but she looks sexy. Leo is very skinny but swift like Cobra. Well, that's boring. I'm loud in the city. How much longer do you think you will live, Jay, at your weight? Well, the fact that I haven't had a first heart attack is either really good news or really bad news because most people like me have had their first heart attack and then they change their diet and way of life and never get that second one. It's the second one that usually kills you. But, you know, when you're as fat and slovenly as myself, I won't survive the first one. Uh, See, we don't know. I've never had a stress test. How do you guys know my arteries are clogged? I mean, the fact that you guys hate me has no impact on whether or not I have blockages. I either have blockages or I don't. The fact that you guys hate me doesn't have any bearing on that. Alcohol thins your blood. If you would have kept fighting McCuck, you would have had a heart attack. Um, I can address that question. I think there's some validity to that. Um, the cardio training I did um, was sufficient for me to show up and even attempt to fight a 3 1 minute round fight. And I wasn't on a gas when I pulled my pec. When Lou, after I pulled my pec and Lou was like, oh, he's gassed, he's gassed. No, I wasn't gassed. If you guys review the video, I'm very calm, like holding my chest, like I felt it go. I wasn't even breathing hard. Um, now, but I probably could have fought one more round if I wouldn't have got hurt. But I can be honest with you guys. coming out for round three in my level of conditioning would have been ugly. I, I would have been huffing and puffing and blocking and pushing him down and trying to not get into any kind of sparring. I'm not getting any kind of war of words with Lou on this live stream. So, and anything you guys want to ask me about Lou, I'm not going to answer. Because Lou is a good guy, and but Lou has proven to become an unstable person, not only to his friends but also to his enemies, and he's not a person that I want to talk about or piss off or really engage with at all, to be honest. Like, I'd rather Lou just went away. Spanish River Park is your Vietnam. Well, that's a good way to put it. Hey, guys, I did it to myself. I had no boxing training. I was living in a truck on the road, had no heavy bag to hit. I mean, come on. Cut me some slack here. If I had a normal job and fucking could have hired a coach to teach me how to hit a heavy bag, I basically hopped out of a fucking semi truck fucking 48 hours before that fight with no preparation. So, excuses. I'm not giving you guys excuses, you asshole. It's over. You can't give excuses for something that's over. Are you and Lenny on good terms now? Absolutely. Um, I, I wasn't I wasn't exactly sure about Prince Andrew um, after that fucked up live stream I did on Wednesday that I deleted Thursday morning. But the fact that he texted me about a half hour ago, I guess I'm still on good terms with Prince Andrew. A man only needs about three friends. Okay. Most of you guys, how many friends you got? I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care if I'm friends with fucking. Let me think about this for a second. I think I think I'm better friends with Adam McLeod than I am with Brad Wolf, and I'm okay with that. What's my net worth? About 4 grand, I think. I don't know. Oh, guns? Shit. I need a smoky, smoky, choky, choky. Uh, dude, oh, that's a good one. Do you owe child support to the mother of Train to Be a Freak? Dave R. That is the comment of the night. That might be why that guy is coming after me so hard, because he's my unrecognized son. That's fucking awesome. No, but I think Train to Be a Freak and Big Rob Fitness need to connect, and they need to focus on becoming humanity united. And I think Big Rob will explain to Train to Be a Freak that you just don't know Big J. I think you rubbed him the wrong way. Um, because I love Big Rob. Big Rob's bringing the Mets back. So Big Rob wants to rub. No, Big Rob is fucking awesome. Dude, Big Rob is enlightened my mind to the benefits of chains and bands, like humanity training, which is really good for rehab training, like for injuries, like for your knees, your shoulder, whatever. I mean, rehab training should always include bands and chains. And Team Humanity, um, the way he incorporates chains and bands into every single exercise, I think it's incredible. And I think it's amazing. And I mean, some of you guys are hung up on tattoos and pit bulls. Porn. Dude, I'm in my wheelhouse here. Tattoos are stupid. I got one. I'd love to get it removed. For what you spend on a tattoo, I'd rather go to Ruth Chris and spend it on shrimp and scallops and crab cakes and steak and lobster. Because at least that protein is going to stay in my body. Big Rob will cost you your job, unfortunately. I'm not going to tell Big Rob where I work. Dude, but thank you for helping keeping me grounded. If I ever collab with Big Rob, I can't let him see my tractor. Even though we don't know the truth about who got Big Lenny fired, and do you believe Adam McLeod or do you believe Big Rob Fitness? I don't want either of them to ever see my work truck. I need a smoky, choky. Are you going to stay I'm in my socks like a bitch. Big J here. Pretty much the ultimate cocksucker in the fitness industry. Most hated man ever to bench 500 pounds. Alcoholic, manipulator, cigarette moocher. I need some goddamn cigarettes right now, and I didn't buy any. Where the fuck's Hamburg? See, if Hamburg was here, I'd be like, yo, Hamburg, here's $5. Run to the store. And that little fucking Swede would be hop skippity fucking ding dong up to the fucking corner to get me a pack of fucking smokes, because I'm Jay Masters. I should have never fucking shunned Hamburg. Well, I'm on. I'm gonna have to bring Hamburg into the. See, Hamburg's not that smart, so I might have to forgive him. So that's the thing about the Delray Misfits is we need our satellite people to make this a good channel. And Hamburg was one. And I just let Hamburg in too close. But if Hamburg was here right now, I'd be like, Hamburg, here's $5. Go get me a pack of smokes. Be like, oh yeah, Jay. I love you, Jay. We need cigarettes, Jay. Ah, you want to sit with Hannah? Oh, fucking dingle dick. Can't find my shoes. I seriously need a cigarette. This place is loaded with drug dealers and fucking crack whores. But I haven't seen any trannies. So I don't know if Kalura could get laid here. Kalura plays tough guy, like, oh, well, Mr. Kalura, before I ever met you, Lenny described you as someone who did despicable things with trannies. So, hey, instead of hating me, maybe hate your friend. It's really not my problem. What's a nice thing about, you know, like maybe if I've been with a tranny once, like let's say Big J fucked up once, and I was with a tranny, and then like me and Kalura could get in a fucking like a bitch argument. Well, bitch, you let that tranny suck your dick that one time. Well, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, I need to go cigarette hunting.